Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today we'll learn the vectors used in RNA technology. Last lecture we have seen the target DNA, which is isolated, prepared or synthesized. Now we'll see the vector DNA, which is called as a carrier. So vector DNA, which is the DNA which carries the target DNA into host cell. Why there is a need of vector DNA? Why can't we directly add a target DNA into host cell? The reason is the target DNA is not safe inside a host cell directly. It requires some support, and that support is provided by vector DNA. Okay, we'll see the various types of vector DNA. So basically the vectors used in rDNA, there are three types of vectors. One is plasmid, one is cosmid, second is cosmid, and third is YAC. Now what is a plasmid? Plasmid are actually isolated from bacteria, which is extra chromosomal. They are circular double-stranded DNA, which is present with many number. One bacteria may have number of plasmids in bacteria. They small in size. The plasmids are small in size. They are having origin of replication. OOR stand for origin of replication, and having genetic markers. Now please understand the concept of plasmid here. It's extra chromosomal, circular, double-stranded DNA present many in number in a bacteria. They are small in size, having origin of replication. Origin of replication stand for it is a nucleotide sequence from where replication can start. That is called as origin of replication. It's a nucleotide sequence, and having a genetic marker. Genetic marker are nothing but a nucleotide sequence again. So both of them are nucleotide sequence. The example of one plasmid, a very excellent example which is used in insulin production, PBR322. P stand for a plasmid, BR stand for name of the scientist, those who have discovered this plasmid, and 322 is a number given to that plasmid. So PBR322, it's a circular double-stranded DNA having origin of replication. There are some nucleotide sequence called as origin of replication from where the replication can start. It's have genetic markers. Is a nucleotide sequence present. This nucleotide sequence called as ampicillin resistance gene. So this is a gene responsible for the production of some enzymes which will kill ampicillin. Please understand. This is the gene responsible for production of one particular enzyme which will digest ampicillin. So even though ampicillin is added to the bacteria containing this plasmid, that bacteria will not die because it is having ampicillin resistance gene. At the same time, it is having tetracycline resistance gene. So these are the two genes, ampicillin resistance and tetracycline resistance genes are present, which is called as genetic marker. Now why it is called as genetic marker? Where the genetic marker is actually required, that we'll see in next video. Please understand here, it's having a two genes. So this is a plasmid commonly used. Now when the plasmid are used when the host cell is bacteria. Obviously, plasmid is isolated from bacteria. So definitely host cell, if the host cell is bacteria, then plasmid PBR322 is used. Okay. Second is cosmid vector. Now this carrier, this vector, how it is works? It's a linear DNA with double stranded. It is not a circular like plasmid. Rather, it is a linear DNA, straight DNA. It is isolated from viruses. Cosmid is isolated from bacteria. Plasmid is isolated from bacteria. Cosmid is isolated from viruses. They are having cohesive ends. At both the side of that linear DNA, there is a single stranded extension. It's already there. They are present in virus. They are having cohesive end, that's called as a single stranded extension, and having a site for restriction enzyme. So they are having some nucleotide sequence where the restriction enzyme can be work. Now this is the structure of your cosmid. So you can find the linear double stranded DNA. It is having a cohesive end. You can find the single stranded extension. It is already present in viruses. So this is called as cohesive end, cos site. Cohesive end also called as cos site. So it is called as cos site. So this is a cos site and this is also a cos site. And there is a site for, I said it is a site for restriction enzyme. So there is some site of nucleotide sequence which is site for restriction enzyme. So there might be a palindromic sequence here, where the restriction enzyme will work. If the restriction enzyme are working on that, if we are isolating this linear DNA from viruses and we are working on restriction enzyme. when we put a restriction enzyme, that restriction enzyme will cut the DNA. Here you can find the restriction enzyme cutting the DNA and it's going to get separated. So it is separated from here, it is separated from here. You can get two parts. Here, this cos site is already there, it's the own cos site, and this single stranded extension is created because of working of restriction enzyme. So when we use a restriction enzyme on a cosmid, they will break like this. Now we are having our target DNA. We have a target DNA which is also having a single stranded extension. So this single stranded extension merge here, this single stranded extension merge here, and a linear the DNA will get here. So now your target DNA is sandwiched in between the cosmid. Your target DNA is sandwiched in between a cosmid DNA. So this is a sandwich DNA produced, that is called as rDNA. Now this rDNA is linear rDNA. We have to take this linear rDNA and we have to add into virus bacteriophage. So this rDNA we have added into bacteriophage and we are ready this bacteriophage to infect a host cell. When this bacteriophage infect a host cell, it is releasing this rDNA inside, and when the rDNA goes inside, it will start expression, that is replication, transcription and translation into host cell. So this is a process called as transduction, infection, transinfection. It is infection of this vector, viruses, to the host cell. Transinfection. This process is called as transinfection. How this cosmid work? So these are the plasmid, cosmid, and the third vector is YAC, called as YAC, yeast artificial chromosome. It is not isolated from yeast. Rather, the some part of yeast is DNA of yeast is taken. Many thing is isolated and then synthesized chromosome. That is called as yeast artificial chromosome. When we are using this yeast artificial chromosome, we are using this yeast artificial chromosome if your host cell is yeast. This yeast artificial chromosome is also linear structure. I will explain you in the next lecture what is the linear structure. The same way of your cosmid, it is a linear structure, and then we have to merge your target DNA into that, make a rDNA and infect to yeast. So this is a plasmid, cosmid and YAC. So this is how we have to go further for next topic, that's enzyme using rDNA technology. I hope you are understanding this, and let's see how the next topic will be covered. Thank you.